You know people like that? I do. I've been like that myself, where I've been stubborn and I wanted my way. How many here are stubborn? All of us. Good. We're all the same. We can all be stubborn. But the Bible says the Lord weighs the heart. You know, only God knows what's truly in our hearts. We can say, well, my intentions are good, but God really sees our intentions, right? He knows if our heart is pure, if we're just doing it for our own gain. The next verse says, to do righteousness and judgment is more acceptable to the Lord than sacrifice. So keep that in mind this week. As we look to Thanksgiving and we think about the things we're thankful for, it's more important to God to do the right thing than to make many sacrifices. When I think of this verse, I think of people that I saw, I saw pictures. The big square in Mexico, there's a church in Mexico City that's just well known for people crawling to this church to show sacrifice to the God that they serve. They want to show that they're so serious to God that they're willing to crawl for a mile to this church. And there's legends of people crawling there and receiving healings. But God says in His Word, through Solomon's writing, He says it's more important to do justice and judgment than to do these sacrifices. God will look at our sacrifice and He'll say, I'm glad you gave that, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for obedience in your heart. And so we see that in the first verse, God says He holds the heart of the king. He can turn it wherever He wants. And the next verse says that we must, let me read it because I'm going to get away from it. A man's ways are right in his own eyes, but God judges the heart. The heart is the important topic this morning. Pray for the heart of our leaders. Pray that your heart is right with God. And pray that you're doing the right things. We can sit back and we can watch the news and we can say they're doing the wrong thing when all along we're doing the wrong thing too. We need to take care of what we do for the Lord first. We have to do the right thing. And by all means, come to church. That is a good thing. And there are days that you can't come. I understand. Coming to church alone won't save you. But coming when you can is showing a submissive heart. And coming to church is not, God's not going to stand up and read the attendance in heaven and say, well, Ryan, you missed 3 services, you're done. No, God's not going to do that. What God's looking for is your heart. God's looking for your heart. He wants obedience. He wants submission. I was talking with my brother yesterday, and we were discussing a topic. And we both know a person that's wandering away from the principles of God. They're going into the deep end. They're starting these studies into things that they shouldn't be looking at. And they're getting away from the core values of God. And it all started with a lack of submission to this person. Their lack of submission to their pastor. Once you cut off submission in your life, you're asking for problems. You have to submit to God first, then your pastor and your family. Be a submissive person. Don't be stubborn and say, well, you can't tell me what to do. That's a wrong heart. That heart existed in Samson. Did you know that? Samson was supposed to be a Nazirite. He was supposed to have long hair. He was supposed to serve God with all of his life. But he was like to his parents, you can't tell me what to do. You don't tell me who to marry. And we know the story. And I'm not picking on Delilah, but Samson married Delilah. This Delilah's the good one. If he would have married this one, it would have been better. But he married a Delilah in the Bible that was not a good lady. She didn't have the virtues that Delilah has. She didn't love Jesus. But he married someone his parents told him not to, and his whole life got off track because he didn't have a submissive heart. So this morning, keep a submissive heart to God. Submit yourselves to one another in the fear of the Lord, and watch God bless your lives. I'm going to ask Ryan to come on up, and you take over, brother, have worship. And this morning, I just wanted to say thank you for praying for Nancy and Anna. If you see them, tell them to take the vitamins. They're both in their middle ages. It's important that we take care of our bodies, right? We need rest. We need vitamins. We need to take care of ourselves. So some of you, this is your sister. Some of you, this is your cousin. Tell them we love you. Take care of yourself. We want to see you here. Okay, God bless.